Have you ever wondered what it feels like to simply vanish? Set out on a journey by sea or by errandly? To disappear without a trace, leaving behind nothing but questions, rumors, and fear? Tonight, we begin a journey into one of the world's most chilling and enduring mysteries. A place where compasses spin, radios go silent, and the ocean seems to swallow everything whole. You are viewing The Forgotten File, and welcome to the Bermuda Triangle. Stretching between the sunny shores of Miami, the remote island of Bermuda, and the vibrant coast of Puerto Rico. This vast triangle of ocean covers more than 500,000 square miles. But it's not the size that makes it infamous, it's the stories. Stories of ships and planes that set out on routine journeys, only to vanish forever. Stories that have haunted sailors, pilots, and dreamers for generations. But what is the truth behind the legend? Is the Bermuda Triangle a real danger, or just a myth blown out of proportion? Over the next 5 episodes, we'll dive deep into the forgotten files of this enigma, covering the facts, the theories, and the chilling tales that have made the Bermuda Triangle a legend. Let's start at the beginning. The first whispers of the Triangle's curse began over a century ago. In 1918, the USS Cyclops, a massive Navy cargo ship, set sail from Barbados, bound for Baltimore. She was carrying over 300 men and a full load of manganese, or the Cyclops, was a workhorse of the U.S. Navy, a ship that had weathered storms and crossed oceans. But somewhere in the Triangle, she vanished. No distress call, no wreckage. How does a ship that size simply disappear? The Cyclops wasn't the last. In 1945, 5 U.S. Navy bombers Flight 19 took off from Florida on a training mission. The weather was clear, the pilots experienced, but as they flew over the Triangle, their compasses went haywire. Everything looked strange, even the ocean. One pilot radioed, then silence. The planes and the rescue crew sent after them were never seen again. What happened to them? Was it a sudden storm, equipment failure, or something far stranger? These disappearances are just the beginning. Over the years, more than 1,000 ships and planes have been lost in the Bermuda Triangle, some in perfect weather, some in the dead of night, all leaving behind the same haunting question: how can so much simply vanish? The world took notice. Newspapers called it the Devil's Triangle. Books and movies turned it into a pop culture phenomenon. But behind the headlines are real people, families waiting for news that never comes, investigators searching for answers in a sea of uncertainty. If you were a sailor or a pilot, would you dare cross the Triangle? Would you trust your compass or your instincts? And if you lost someone to these waters, would you ever stop searching for the truth? The Bermuda Triangle is not just a place on a map. It's a living legend, a puzzle that has confounded experts and amateurs alike. But what makes this region so dangerous? Is it the unpredictable weather, the powerful ocean currents, or something more mysterious, something science can't explain? Let's go back to the early days of ocean travel. For centuries, sailors have told stories of strange happenings in these waters. Compasses spinning wildly, sudden storms appearing out of nowhere, eerie lights dancing on the horizon. Some believe the area was cursed, haunted by the ghosts of lost ships and ancient civilizations. Others whispered about sea monsters, giant whirlpools, or even portals to another world. But as technology advanced, so did the disappearances. In the 1940s and 50s, commercial airliners began to vanish, just like the ships before them. In 1948, a British South American Airways plane called the Star Tiger was flying from the Azores to Bermuda. The weather was mild, the crew was experienced, and the last radio message was routine, but the plane never arrived. No wreckage, no survivors, no clues. Just a year later, another plane from the same airline, the Star Ariel, disappeared on a flight from Bermuda to Jamaica. Once again, the weather was clear and the last message was normal, but the plane and its 20 passengers were never found. And it's not just ships and planes. In 1963, the SS Marine Sulphur Queen, a tanker carrying molten sulfur, vanished with all 39 crew members. The Coast Guard searched for weeks, but found only a few pieces of debris. The rest of the ship and her crew were lost to the Triangle. With so many disappearances, it's no wonder the Bermuda Triangle has become a legend. But is it really as dangerous as people say? Or is the truth more ordinary than the stories suggest? Scientists have studied the Bermuda Triangle for decades, searching for answers. Some point to the region's unpredictable weather. Sudden storms, waterspouts, and hurricanes can appear out of nowhere, making navigation treacherous. Others note that the Gulf Stream, a powerful ocean current, flows right through the triangle. It can quickly sweep away debris, making it almost impossible to find wreckage. There's also the theory of methane hydrates, huge bubbles of gas trapped under the sea floor. If these bubbles are released, they could reduce the density of the water, causing ships to sink without warning. It sounds like science fiction, but it's a real phenomenon. But even with all these explanations, why do so many stories from the Bermuda Triangle remain unsolved? Is it just coincidence, or is there something more at play? Maybe part of the answer lies in our own fascination with the unknown. The Bermuda Triangle is more than just a place. It's a symbol of mystery, a reminder that there are still parts of our world we don't fully understand. Every time a ship or plane disappears, the legend grows, fueled by our curiosity and our love of a good story. Over the years, the Bermuda Triangle has inspired countless books, movies, and documentaries. It's become a pop culture phenomenon, a mystery that refuses to be solved. And maybe that's part of its magic. The more we try to explain it, the more questions we find. So, what do you believe? Is the Bermuda Triangle a deadly trap, a scientific puzzle, or just a legend blown out of proportion? Have you ever heard a story about the triangle that gave you chills? Let your imagination wander, because in the next episode, we'll dig even deeper, exploring the most famous disappearances, the eyewitness accounts, and the theories that have tried to explain the unexplainable. The Bermuda Triangle has kept its secrets for over a century. But are we any closer to the truth? Join me in next, as we open the next forgotten file, and step further into the mystery. So, what could be behind these chilling disappearances? Is it really something supernatural, or is the answer hiding in the raw, unpredictable power of nature itself? Let's open the next file. Natural phenomena. The Bermuda Triangle sits in one of the most active weather zones on the planet. Here, the sky can be clear and calm one moment, and then almost without warning, turn into a raging storm the next. Imagine you're a captain, steering your ship through these waters. The sun is shining, the sea is calm, but then dark clouds gather on the horizon, the wind picks up. Within minutes, you're caught in a violent squall waves, towering above your ship. Rain lashing down, visibility dropping to zero. It's easy to see how a vessel, even a large one, could be overwhelmed. In the days before radar and satellite weather forecasts, these storms would have been almost impossible to predict. Many ships and planes that vanished in the triangle may have simply been caught off guard by the region's notorious weather, but storms are just the beginning. The Bermuda Triangle is also home to one of the ocean's most powerful forces, the Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream is like a massive river within the ocean, flowing from the Gulf of Mexico up the eastern coast of the United States and across the Atlantic. In some places, it moves at speeds of up to 5 miles per hour, fast enough to carry debris, or even entire ships far from where they were last seen. If a ship or plane goes down in the triangle, the Gulf Stream can scatter the wreckage over hundreds of miles, or pull it down to the ocean floor, where it may never be found. This powerful current also creates unpredictable conditions on the surface. It can whip up sudden waves, change the weather in an instant, and make navigation a nightmare. Have you ever tried to swim in a strong current? Imagine that, but on a scale so massive, it can move entire ships. Could the Gulf Stream be the invisible hand behind some of the triangle's most famous disappearances? But the ocean has even more tricks up its sleeve. In recent years, scientists have discovered a phenomenon that sounds like something out of a disaster movie: rogue waves. Rogue waves are giant walls of water, sometimes over 100 feet high, that can appear without warning, even on a calm sea. For centuries, sailors told stories of these monster waves, but they were dismissed as myths. Now, we know they're real. A rogue wave can strike with the force of a freight train, smashing ships to pieces in seconds. In the Bermuda Triangle, where weather and currents collide, conditions are perfect for these waves to form. Imagine being on a ship in the middle of the night. The sea is calm, the stars are out. Then, out of nowhere, a wall of water rises up and crashes down. There's no time to send a distress call, no chance to escape. Could rogue waves explain some of the triangle's most sudden and mysterious disappearances? But storms, currents, and waves aren't the only natural forces at work here. There's another phenomenon that has puzzled navigators for centuries: magnetic anomalies. The Earth's magnetic field isn't perfectly uniform. In some places, it's stronger or weaker, or points in a slightly different direction. The Bermuda Triangle is one of those places. For years, sailors and pilots have reported their compasses behaving strangely in the triangle, spinning wildly or pointing in the wrong direction. In the days before GPS, a faulty compass could be a death sentence. Have you ever tried to find your way in the dark, only to realize your map is upside down? Now imagine you're flying a plane over open ocean, and your compass suddenly stops working. Could magnetic anomalies be the reason so many experienced crews lost their way in the triangle? Scientists have studied the Bermuda Triangle's magnetic field for decades. Some believe that the region is one of only 2 places on Earth where true north and magnetic north line up perfectly, a phenomenon called agonic lines. If a navigator didn't adjust for this, they could easily drift off course, especially in bad weather or at night. A small error in navigation, combined with a sudden storm or a powerful current, could spell disaster. And once a ship or plane was lost, the Gulf Stream would quickly erase any trace. So, is the Bermuda Triangle really cursed? Or is it simply a place where the forces of nature come together in a perfect storm of danger and confusion? There are stories of ships battered by storms, pilots fighting to keep control as their instruments go haywire, and survivors who barely made it out alive. One sailor described being caught in a sudden squall. The sky turned black, the wind howled, and the waves rose higher than the mast. We lost sight of the horizon. For hours, we fought to stay afloat. When the storm finally passed, we were miles off course and lucky to be alive. Can you picture yourself in that moment? The fear, the confusion, the sense that the ocean itself is against you? It's no wonder that so many who survived the Triangle's fury believed they had faced something supernatural. But maybe the real mystery of the Bermuda Triangle is just how unpredictable nature can be, a place where weather, currents, waves, and magnetic forces all collide, creating a deadly playground for the elements. So far, we've explored the raw power of nature storms, currents, and magnetic mysteries that could explain the disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle. But what if there's more to the story? What if the truth is stranger than science alone can explain? For decades, the Bermuda Triangle has been a magnet for conspiracy theories and wild rumors. Some are rooted in science, others in pure imagination. But all of them have one thing in common: they refuse to let the mystery die. Let's open the next file. Unraveling the conspiracies, theories, and rumors. When a place is as mysterious as the Bermuda Triangle, it's no surprise that people start to wonder, what if something truly extraordinary is happening here? Let's start with a theory that sounds like science fiction, but is actually based on real science. Underwater methane eruptions. Deep beneath the surface of the Atlantic, huge pockets of methane gas are trapped in the seabed. Sometimes these pockets can suddenly erupt, sending massive bubbles of gas rushing up to the surface. If a ship happens to be above one of these eruptions, the water beneath it can become so full of bubbles that it loses its buoyancy. In an instant, the ship could sink, swallowed by the sea without warning and without a trace. It sounds unbelievable, but scientists have proven that methane eruptions can and do happen. Could this be the hidden hand behind some of the Triangle's most baffling disappearances? Imagine sailing on a calm night, the stars above, when suddenly your ship begins to sink for no reason. No storm, no wave, just the ocean itself turning against you. Could this explain why so many ships have vanished without a single distress call? But methane isn't the only theory that's captured the imagination of Triangle watchers. Us. Some believe the answer lies not beneath the waves, but far above them. For years, sailors and pilots have reported seeing strange lights in the sky over the Bermuda Triangle, glowing orbs, fast-moving objects, and even flying saucers. Some of these sightings have been explained as meteors, whether balloons or military aircraft. But others remain a mystery. Could the Bermuda Triangle be a hotspot for extraterrestrial activity? It's a theory that's been explored in countless books, movies, and documentaries. Some even believe that UFOs are responsible for abducting ships and planes, whisking them away to another world. It's easy to dismiss these stories as fantasy. But when you hear the accounts of experienced pilots and sailors, people trained to observe and report what they see, you have to wonder, what did they really encounter out there? One of the most famous cases comes from 1945, when the pilots of Flight 19 reported seeing strange lights and experiencing bizarre instrument malfunctions before they vanished. Other crews have described seeing ghost ships on the horizon, or hearing voices on the radio that seemed to come from nowhere. Have you ever seen something you couldn't explain? A light in the sky, a shadow in the water, a sound that made your skin crawl? In the Bermuda Triangle, these moments of mystery seem to happen more often than anywhere else. But perhaps the most legendary theory of all is the one that connects the Bermuda Triangle to the lost city of Atlantis. The story of Atlantis goes back thousands of years. To the writings of the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, he described a powerful, advanced civilization that vanished beneath the sea in a single day and night of disaster. Over the centuries, people have searched for Atlantis all over the world. But some believe its ruins lie hidden beneath the waves of the Bermuda Triangle. According to this theory, the advanced technology of Atlantis, perhaps even energy crystals or ancient machines, still operates deep underwater, interfering with ships and planes above. Some claim that strange magnetic fields, sudden storms, and even the mysterious disappearances are all the work of this lost civilization. Can you picture it? A city of gleaming towers and golden domes, now silent and forgotten, its secrets guarded by the ocean. Is it possible that the Bermuda Triangle is the graveyard of Atlantis, and that its ancient power still echoes through the ages? Of course, not all theories are so grand. Some believe the triangle is a testing ground for secret government technology, stealth aircraft, underwater bases, or even time travel experiments gone wrong. Others point to the area's long history of piracy, suggesting that some disappearances may have more to do with human greed than supernatural forces. But whatever the explanation, one thing is clear. The Bermuda Triangle is a place where the line between fact and fiction blurs. Every strange light, every unexplained sound, every vanished ship adds another layer to the legend. So, what do you believe? Are the disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle the work of natural forces, ancient civilizations, or visitors from another world? Or is the real mystery the way our minds fill in the gaps, turning the unknown into stories that capture our imagination? As we continue our journey through the forgotten files of the Bermuda Triangle, we'll look at the most famous cases, stories that have fueled the legend for generations, and that still defy explanation to this day. We've explored the wildest theories, from underwater gas eruptions to lost cities and even visitors from other worlds. But what if the real story of the Bermuda Triangle is less about the supernatural and more about science, statistics, and simple human error? Let's open the next file, Debunking the Myths, Scientific Evidence, and Rational Explanations. For decades, the Bermuda Triangle has been a magnet for mystery. But when scientists and investigators take a closer look, a very different picture begins to emerge, one that's grounded in facts, not fantasy. Let's start with something that's often overlooked. The Bermuda Triangle is one of the busiest travel corridors in the world. Every day, thousands of ships and planes pass through this region. It's a major route for cargo ships, cruise liners, private yachts, and commercial airliners traveling between the Americas, Europe, and the Caribbean. So much traffic. It's no surprise that accidents happen here, just as they do in any busy highway or airport. In fact, when you look at the numbers, the rate of disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle is no higher than in any other heavily traveled part of the world. Think about it. If you have more cars on a road, you're likely to see more accidents. The same logic applies to the sea and sky. Could it be that the Triangle's reputation is simply a case of statistics at work? Over the years, researchers have gone back and examined many of the Triangle's most famous cases. What they found might surprise you, like the story of Flight 19, the 5 Navy bombers that vanished in 1945. For decades, this case was shrouded in mystery. But when investigators reviewed the original radio transcripts and weather reports, a different story emerged. The lead pilot was lost and disoriented, flying in poor weather with malfunctioning instruments. The planes likely ran out of fuel and ditched in rough seas. The rescue plane that followed also disappeared, but evidence suggests it exploded shortly after takeoff due to a fuel leak, a tragic accident, not a supernatural event. Many other so-called mysteries have similar explanations. Ships that vanished were later found to have sunk in storms, run aground on reefs, or simply drifted off course. Planes that disappeared were often flying in dangerous weather, with inexperienced crews or faulty equipment. Have you ever heard a story that sounded unbelievable until you learned all the facts? In the Bermuda Triangle, the truth is often less dramatic, but no less important. Scientific studies have also debunked many of the myths about the triangle's so-called magnetic anomalies. While it's true that the Earth's magnetic field varies from place to place, the Bermuda Triangle is not unique in this respect. In fact, the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has stated that the magnetic variations in the triangle are no greater than anywhere else on Earth. Compasses can behave strangely in many places, especially near the poles or in areas with large deposits of iron ore. So why do so many people believe the Bermuda Triangle is special? Part of the answer lies in the power of storytelling and the way our minds look for patterns, even where none exist. The legend of the Bermuda Triangle really took off in the 1960s and 70s. Thanks to a series of best-selling books and sensational news stories, authors and journalists often exaggerated or misreported the facts, turning ordinary accidents into unsolved mysteries. Some even invented details or ignored evidence that didn't fit the story. Have you ever noticed how a story can change as it's retold? Each time it gets a little more dramatic, a little more mysterious. In the case of the Bermuda Triangle, the myth grew bigger than the reality. When scientists compared the number of disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle to other busy regions like the North Sea, the Mediterranean, or the South China Sea, they found no significant difference. In fact, some areas have even higher rates of accidents, but they don't have the same reputation for mystery. So why does the Bermuda Triangle stand out? It's a combination of high traffic, unpredictable weather, and the human tendency to see patterns and meaning in random events. And let's not forget the role of human error. Many disappearances can be traced back to simple mistakes, navigational errors. It's miscommunication, fatigue, or poor decision-making under pressure. In the days before GPS and modern technology, even a small error could have deadly consequences. One famous case involved a cargo ship that vanished in the Triangle. For years, it was considered a mystery, until researchers discovered that the ship had been overloaded, poorly maintained, and sailing into a hurricane. The real cause wasn't a curse or a conspiracy, but a series of bad decisions and unfortunate circumstances. Imagine being a captain in the 1940s, relying on paper charts, a compass, and the stars. A sudden storm blows in, your instruments fail, and you're miles from land. It's easy to see how things could go wrong fast. So what can we learn from the Bermuda Triangle? First, that the world is a dangerous and unpredictable place. The ocean is vast, the weather is wild, and even the best prepared crews can run into trouble. But more importantly, we learn the value of looking for evidence, asking questions, and not jumping to conclusions. Today, with advanced navigation systems, weather forecasting, and improved safety standards, accidents in the Bermuda Triangle are rarer than ever. The legend lives on, but the reality is far less mysterious and far more human. So is the Bermuda Triangle really a place of danger and mystery? Or is it just a story we tell ourselves, a way to make sense of the unknown? We've journeyed through the heart of the Bermuda Triangle, exploring its storms, its secrets, its science, and its stories. We've heard about vanishing ships, missing planes, and the wildest theories ever imagined. But after all the evidence, all the legends, and all the speculation, what are we left with? What is the real verdict on the Bermuda Triangle? Let's open the final file. The Bermuda Triangle, the final verdict. The Bermuda Triangle is, without a doubt, one of the most famous mysteries of our time. For over a century, it has captured the imagination of people all over the world. It's a place where fact and fiction blend together, where every answer seems to lead to more questions. But as we've seen, the truth is often more complex and more fascinating than any single theory can explain. On one hand, the evidence points to a region shaped by powerful natural forces. Sudden storms, unpredictable currents, and the mighty Gulf Stream have all played a role in the disappearances. Add to that the challenges of navigation, the limitations of old technology, and the simple reality of human error. And it's easy to see how accidents could happen sometimes with tragic results. Scientific studies have shown that the Bermuda Triangle is not uniquely dangerous. In fact, the number of accidents here is no higher than in any other busy part of the world's oceans. Many of the so-called mysteries have been solved, and many more can be explained by the interplay of weather, currents, and human mistakes. But does that mean the legend is dead? Not at all. The Bermuda Triangle endures because it speaks to something deep within ESA, fascination with the unknown, a love of adventure, and a need to find meaning in the unexplained. Every time a ship vanishes or a plane goes missing, the story grows. Every time someone sees a strange light in the sky or hears a mysterious sound on the radio, the legend lives on. Why do we cling to these mysteries, even when the facts are right in front of us? Is it because we want to believe in something bigger than ourselves? Or is it simply the thrill of a good story, a story that reminds us how vast and unpredictable our world can be? Behind every headline, there are real people, families who waited for loved ones who never returned, rescuers who searched the endless ocean, survivors who lived to tell the tale. For them, the Bermuda Triangle is not just a legend, but a place of loss, hope, and unanswered questions. So, what should we believe? Should we dismiss the Bermuda Triangle as nothing more than a myth, a product of overactive imaginations and sensational headlines? Or should we keep searching, keep questioning, and keep wondering about the secrets that still lie beneath the waves? The truth is, the Bermuda Triangle is all of these things, a real place shaped by real dangers, a symbol of our curiosity and a testament to the power of storytelling. Maybe the real mystery isn't what happens in the triangle, but why we're so drawn to it in the first place. As you think about everything we've explored tonight, the science, stories, the facts, and the fantasies, I invite you to draw your own conclusions. Do you see the Bermuda Triangle as a solved puzzle, or as a mystery that still deserves our attention? Do you believe in the power of nature, the possibility of the unknown, or the magic of a good story? And here's the question I leave you with. Is the Bermuda Triangle truly a place of danger and secrets? Or is it simply a mirror reflecting our deepest fears, our wildest dreams, and our endless search for answers? Thank you for joining me on this journey through the forgotten files of the Bermuda Triangle. If you enjoyed this exploration, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you heard a story about the triangle that still gives you chills? Do you have your own theory? I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to The Forgotten File, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new mystery. Share this video with friends who love a good story and help us keep the spirit of curiosity alive. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring. And remember, some mysteries are meant to be explored, even if they're never fully solved.